to our Sunday virtual service. This is the Reverend Deborah Johnson, and welcome. We are so pleased to have you with us this day, this extraordinary springtime day. We know that so many people across this nation and across the world right now, because of the COVID-19 virus, are sheltering at home, that you are not out in your sanctuary or places of worship. But we're glad to have you with us, no matter what it is, what time it is that you're tuning in. At Innerlight Ministries, we have a vision. We're an omni-faith outreach ministry that's dedicated to spiritual transformation. We provide tools for living that encourage the practical application of universal spiritual principles to all of life's circumstances. Our aim is healing through the energy of agapeo love and the revealing of our own inner light. As an omni-faith ministry, we embody spiritual oneness, we appreciate individualized expressions, and we honor all paths that lead to truth. Most especially, we are grateful for you here this day. Our musical inspiration is a group that's in the Santa Cruz area that's been near and dear to our hearts in our community for quite a number of years. This beautiful couple, Scott Overby, who's known of as Smiles a Lot, and his wonderful partner in life, Namasia Carpenter, are going to be our musical inspiration. Some of you might have known them as being part of the reggae band, Love Eternal, but they're going to help us create some sacred space right now. Please, Smiles and Namasia.
Thank you very much, Reverend. I just wanted to say that I've come here. The inner light is moving from one church to the next, and now the church is really moving into your heart, because we're all at home, and we are not alone at home. We are all one, and I want to put that out. And as I put that out, I want to tell you, when I start this song here, I'm gonna put my best foot forward. This is my best song, and when I ask you to hold me, I want you to hold me like a vision. Hold me in the light. And when I sing this song to Spirit, I'm asking Spirit to hold me. And it's also between two people too, that it's important to have good relations. Here we go. Tell me that you love me. You're the only one that knows me. How you know me now? Oh, yeah. Tell me that you love me. You're the only one that knows me. How you know me now? Only you, my mama, never know no other. I'm bowing down at the feet of the divine mother. I'm gonna drive you just like a chauffeur. Relax, I'm gonna rub that chip right off your shoulder. I'ma serve you hand and foot like a butler. You could be my BFF, my best friend, my lover, my pleasure. Just lay there for hours, I gaze and just hold her. I love that my true love, the Lord's flower inside her. Oh, tell me that you love me. You're the only one that knows me. How you know me now? Oh, tell me that you love me. You're the only one that knows me. How you know me now? Hold me, won't you hold me now? I'm deep in the moment, unreal, unrehearsed. I'm a little too far forward, I can't be reversed. She don't really got me lost for words. It's me and you, us one rebirth. I'm passed out, blissed out, meditating afterwards, pondering the vastness of the universe. Oh, everything that I am, I surrender and give to her. Hold me and tell me that you love me. You're the only one that knows me. How you know me now? Hold me and tell me that you love me. You're the only one that knows me. How you know me now? Hold me, won't you hold me now? Oh, I'm obsessed, I'm infatuated, yeah. Mama, this love is so blessed that it is sacred. By the light, we consecrated it, be pure white light, illuminating, yeah, but we be getting so high off this love that we making it be earth shaking, trembling, quaking, and we instantly awaken. Strip it down and naked. Oil me, anoint me, saturated up, or turning the lights out, now fade it out, don't turn it up or crank it. Oh, how far we gonna go and take it? I wanna ride up on the magic blanket, take off on your spaceship. How far we gonna take it together, co-create it? I'll be all a child alike, I played it. I'll be going on all day with it, gonna be you I forever stay with. Hold me and tell me that you love me. You're the only one that knows me. How you know me now? Hold me and tell me that you love me. You're the only one that knows me. How you know me now? Hold me now. Wasn't that funny though? God is the great unexpected. Ah yes, the great mystery.
As we prepare to cultivate our minds for this time together, just want to remind you that our theme this month of April is expansion. And our topic today is transformation leads to expansion. Transformation leads to expansion. And I'm going to be reading a couple of quotes out of a book, Your Deepest Intent. It is volume 2 from the Letters of the Infinite series. And I'm going to be reading from the letter called Transformation. These are these spirit messages that they come as a form of a letter, and I download them and then transcribe them. It's a conversation. So I want you to just not just listen to me, but listen to what I was listening to, so you can tap into that same vibration. These are just excerpts. It says, to transform is not to arrive. Transform is to live in a new paradigm. The scales continuously fall from your time-blinded eyes. The vision keeps getting sharper. You become more acute, astute, aware. The question remains, though, will all of this make you less or more spiritually available? Will you be overwhelmed by the complexities of your own persona? Or will you be able to become sure-footed again when you become painfully aware that you have been standing on shaky ground? Will you be able to rebuild the foundations of your life even when it becomes quite apparent that you have been building on sinking sand? Will you be able to forgive yourself when your folly is all that you can focus on? Will you be able to release yourself from your self-judgments about the ways that you used to treat other people, even how you treated yourself? Will you be able to embrace this new you? Will you spend quality time with yourself, getting to know who you really are? Will you encourage and support this new transformative you? Exactly what will you do? When you transform, you're not always recognized for who you used to be. Is it okay for you not to be recognizable? Is it okay for the ones closest to you won't know really who you are? Will you still be able to stand in your truth when people are throwing your past in your face? Will you be able to maintain a vision of a brighter day even when you can't see the way? You cannot transform on your own. You cannot heal on your own. And any evolution without me will never be transformation. I am with you always, even unto the ends of the earth. Transformation is an ongoing process. It is a way of life. It is the journey, not a destination. Make transformation the subject of your life, not the object. I will be there, guiding, consoling, directing, providing for, supporting, loving, caring, revealing to you all the time. Step onto the you that you have always been. What a wonderful relationship there is to be built with the real you. I will prepare a table before you. And guess who's coming to dinner? Just breathe that in. And I invite you now to be with our affirmations, which you can find on the website. You can find them there posted on Facebook. These are really calls to action, and I invite you to use them during the week. I am careful about what I allow to inform me. I will not conform to collude with the current trends. I keep my third eye single, open, full of light. I remain steadfast at the gates of my mind. I feast on the sustaining and fast from the draining. This day, I am uplifted and made new. Free from emotional debris, I can see the real me. I step into the power and the strength that is my God-given right. I am expanded by my mind's transformation. And we are reminded from the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2. Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Our mind is renewed so much. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think I might not have introduced this hand painting by my good and dear friend Kali, and it just called out to us. And you can look him up. It's Kali Kali on the Facebook, and here it is, Emancipation. And yeah, we had to introduce that. And right now, Namansi is going to sing.
Yeah, I have a song. It's called Too Big. And I wanted to give thanks to Russell Downing for the inspiration. He was up on pulpit and said, I'm too big to play small. And if you know Russell, he's a really big giant of a wonderful, loving person. I just want to give thanks to Russell and Ganena for always being there. They've been such a rocket in their light and always inspiring and encouraging. So thank you so much for shining your light. And here is me doing the same. Right. I am too big to play small. My light shines here for all. God's light shines here for all. We are too big to play small. My light shines here for all. God's light shines here. Here for all. And I am a regal earth mother queen, like a fresh bubbling spring. I stand in my power, I stand in my truth. I speak for the mother, I speak for the youth. It does not serve you to make you small. No need to fear me, there's room for all. You can be you, and I can be me. There's room here for all. No need to compete. No need to compete. Oh, oh, room for all. For I am too big to play small. My light shines here for all. God's light is here for all. We are too big to play small. My light shines here for all. God's light shines here. Ooh, room for all. And let us not hide this beauty inside, full of power of the divine. Now is the hour, the power inside. Let us not hide, I will not hide, for I am God, goddess incarnate. Onto this holy land I stand tall and proud. Yes, I am. I'm rising up to Jaja's highest plan, rising up to Jama's highest plan, rising up to Jaja's highest plan. Ooh, oh, ba, 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 yeah. I am too big to play small. My light shines here for all. God's light shines here for all. And we are too big to play small. My light shines here for all. God's light shines here. Ooh. Here for all, 'cause we are too big to play small. My light shines here for all. God's light shines here for all. And we are too big to play small. light shines here for all. God's light shines here for all. My light shines here for all. Your light shines here for all. God's light shines here for all. Our light shines here. Here. Ah, oh,
I appreciate that. But, can you clip me back? Namasi, you've got to give me a little djembe solo. You just have to do it. You have to do it for me.
All right. It helps if Smiles helps drum too, so I'm not all by myself. All right.
Great, wonderful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm all about the rhythm. I'm all about the beat. Yeah. Let's just all take a breath, huh? And we're talking this month about expansion. And today we're talking particularly about how it is that transformation brings about expansion. And I just want to say, we're always kind of a society that's searching after increase. We're wanting more. That idea of expansion, I mean, it's actually in our capitalistic economic principles that more is always better than less. But you know what? More of the same old is not expansion. I just want you to get a sense of that. And even when there is expansion, you don't want it to be just moving in the same direction all the time. What we are about here as a spiritual community is transformation. Transformation. Just breathe in that idea for a moment. See, there's all kind of ways in which form shows up in our lives. We can inform, which means we take the various forms that are around us and we somehow ingest them. We bring them into ourselves. We can reform, which is to kind of take the same things and move them all around, all over, again. We can inform, we can reform. There's a lot of different things that we can do. But when you transform, you are moving beyond. Trans is movement, is motion. When you transform, you are moving beyond who and what it used to be. And here's how you know when it's really transformation. When it's really transformation, it can no longer be recognized for who or what it used to be. Let that settle in. When there's real transformation, it's no longer recognizable. See, if you're looking at something and going, ooh, look how much that's better. Ooh, look how much that's changed. That's a reform, which is great. You're still looking at what you've known before, and you're seeing all the ways in which it has shifted and changed. When something truly transforms, you don't even see what was there before. You don't even recall what was there before. I'm thinking in my mind now, not only of my own life, but of the men that we've worked with inside of prison. This is 20 years coming up on May 5th, 2020, that we've been going inside of prisons, particularly this one particular prison, Pleasant Valley State Prison. And some of the guys who we worked with initially have gotten out. They're former lifers. They've gotten out, and we're still friends now. And we do things together and all the rest of that. I'm telling you, that's transformation. That if you were to look at these men and you were to talk to these men, unless somebody told you, you would have absolutely no idea that these were people who used to be in prison. See, but that means a radical change. That means a radical shift. I remember we used to joke about it in the Pentecostal church, how everybody wanted to go to heaven, but nobody wanted to die. You know, transformation is radical shift. When you allow yourselves to be transformed, you don't even know who you are. You don't even know who you are. You can't even orchestrate your own transformation, because transformation takes a certain degree of surrender. And when we're busy trying to orchestrate our change, we're using all our best efforts. But the problem with our best efforts is that it's relying on our experience. It's relying on what it is we've already done and what it is that we already know. So too many of us in our forward motion, we are busy extrapolating from the past and projecting that into the future. So in that way, the past becomes not only the precedent, but it becomes your ceiling. You don't do any more, you don't go any further than what you've seen or what you thought was possible before. But when you talk about transformation, baby, all bets are off. All bets are off. When you talk about transformation, the past that has happened before is no longer the precedent. When you're moving to a place of transformation, there is that sense that there is something within you that is greater and grander than anything that you can possibly imagine. Transformation is a journey. Like it said in the reading, it's not a destination. Let that sink in for a moment. Transformation is not some place that you are trying to arrive to. Transformation is your process of getting there. And part of that transformation of the process of getting there is letting go of who you think you are. Transformation will never happen if you have a sense of who you are and you're merely trying to add on to that. Let that sink in for a second. When we allow our socio-demographic profile, whatever that is, your gender, your race, your age, your socioeconomic status, when you allow all of this stuff to define you, when you let it define you, then you are limited by its possibilities. When you let it define you, you can't go any further than that. I'm not asking you to go into denial or to say that none of those things are manifesting in your life. Don't give them the last word. Don't give them the last word. You don't allow that stuff to tell you what you can be. You just allow that stuff to uniquely shape how you're going to express your good. So when the prosperity does have an open channel to flow through, when the love really does have an open channel to flow through, you'll do it according to your unique pattern. You'll do it according to how you show up in the world. as opposed to who you are in the world determines how much will show up. No, 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 no. It's not that kind of party in the universe unless you make it so. Unless you make it so. Are you willing? All of those identities that we have, that we hold on to, what we've done, what we haven't done, what's happened to us, what hasn't happened to us. All of that stuff becomes cement. It becomes like quicksand. When you get to the point of transformation, is you open up wide. Open up wide. Wider than you even knew that wide could be. And you lay all of that stuff, all of it, the hopes, the dreams, the desires, the expectations, the timetables, the agendas, you put it at the altar. You allow the worries, the concerns, the fears, the if I coulda, woulda, shouldas, the guilt, the shame, the pain, you lay it at the altar. And the universe is like this big compost pile, just like the Mother Earth is combining the fertilizer with the seeds. Listen to what I'm saying. It takes all of the crap, it takes all of the manure, it takes the waste, and it combines it with your seeds of promise. It takes all of it to make you you. So no more hiding. No more shame. No more trying to cut parts of yourself out that you're not proud of or you don't feel fulfilled in or that you feel inadequate about or unsure. Just take all of that. Take all of that with you to the altar. And the alchemy of the divine melts all of it. Matter is neither created nor destroyed. It only changes form. I remember when I finally got that there's not going to be more. That everything that ever is going to be is already here. That's profound when we think about it. All the energy that we need for this planet is already here. We may not be using the most renewable sources. We may not be going about it the right way. But even the concepts of like 0-point energy can say there's enough energy in a little 12-ounce can to actually be all the energy that we need on the planet if we only learn how to use it. But that means we have to let go of what we have thought. You're more than you can imagine. You have powers that you don't even know. You have capacities that you don't even know. You have to be willing for things to fly out of your mouth that you never even imagined. I'm thinking now of a situation, and I know that I shared this in one of my sermons a while back. I was at a fundraising event. It was actually a GLAD event, the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation. I'm one of the early founders of that and facilitators of that group coming together. And they are very powerful, particularly in the media. And they were having one of their star-studded events. Everybody's in their, tuxedos and their finery and whatnot. And I'm sitting at the front, one of the front head tables. And there's a guy next to me that I recognize, full head of white hair. And the moment I saw him, I froze because I had maybe 10 years earlier, one of the most awful experiences of racism and sexism that I had ever had. it was such a bad experience. At the time, I was co-chair of the gay and lesbian, the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force, NGLTF. And my white male co-chair cried for me. When he watched what went down, he was a lawyer. He said, "Oh my God, Deborah, is this what you're talking about when you talk about like the Black experience?" Yes, this is what I'm talking about. So when I saw the guy, I did the Black thing. We go into denial. That ain't him. No, that didn't go down. No, she didn't just say that. We do that. So I'm going through all that. Maybe he's a twin, but he's such a distinct person. And finally I asked him, I said, do you happen to own a beautiful Victorian in San Francisco? And he said, yes. And it's like, okay, I know it's him. I know this is the guy. We had a fundraising event at this house. And everything in me just didn't know what to do. Literally, I did not know what to do. And I just prayed. And I said, okay, God, what am I supposed to do here? And I couldn't believe the next words that flew out my mouth. I looked at him, and instead of cussing him out or dragging up some old drama from 10 years ago, I said, thank you. It was like, where did that come from? I just said, thank you. That's quite a service that you give to the community of allowing your house to be used for fundraisers. I didn't identify myself. I don't even think I gave my name. I didn't say, hey, I used to be co-chair of the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force, and we had a fundraiser there, and 10 years ago, blah, 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 blah. I just said, thank you. And you know what? I was free. I was free. I wasn't that person who had that experience. And I don't know if he was the same guy or not. I mean, physically, he's the same person. But the point of the matter is that when you truly transform, there's no sticky stuff anymore. There's no Velcro. All your stories about what happened, what didn't happen, and what went wrong, and they heal. And I found myself with a new sense of power. There was an act of empowerment for myself. And I knew in that moment that I had transformed, not just healed, but that I had transformed. Are you willing to go there? Are you willing for your stories about whatever? You messed up. You messed up your credit. You blew your inheritance. You never got married. You ruined the divorce. You whatever, your addiction stuff and what you've done to your body, what you've done to other people's bodies. Are you willing to lay all of that stuff aside and say, God, do something with this? Do something with this that's going to be a blessing to me and to the rest of the world. See, there's an evolutionary process that happens in life. Life goes not backward, nor does it tarry with yesterday. So as sure as we're engaged here now, the spring is going to follow the winter. You can count on that. And you'll see the renewal, and you'll see the restoration. And you'll know that this is a new spring. And you'll feel it. But I love how it says in that same letter that I read from. It says, when your evolution meets a revolution, then you'll have the transformation. When your natural progression of divine design has a revolution is literally from the word revolve. When there's a revolution, the center of what your life revolves around shifts and changes. When your life is no longer centered around your ego, when your life is no longer centered around your sense of lack and limitation, when your life is no longer centered around what you're trying to prove. I love it the way my mentor Beckwith always says, there's nothing to prove and no one to prove it to. When you allow your life to center around spirit, when you allow your life to center around possibility, when you allow it to revolve around prosperity and goodwill and interconnectedness, something will happen within you. It'll be like that metamorphosis that we always talk about between the caterpillar and the butterfly. Yes, there is an evolutionary impulse that takes place. But you know what? What happens inside that cocoon is pure transformation. Because when that butterfly comes out, it is no longer recognized for who it used to be. I want to share this story that happened. This was years ago when I was first getting out of ministerial school. So this must have been like summer of '96. And I was at a butterfly farm in the Chapel Hill, Durham, North Carolina area. I'd never been to a butterfly farm before, and I'd never seen a butterfly come into being. And it's very difficult to see because most of the time, these little chrysalis cocoons are hiding way up underneath the leaves out of sight to the human eye. So you see these little larva type things, and they're hanging from these limbs. And the process happens so quickly. The outer shell sloughs off, kind of like the skin off of a snake. And then there was this creature that didn't look like a butterfly at all. It looked like a little slimy, little fat, hairless worm with these itchy, bitchy, teeny, weeny little specks on the side. And it was the most extraordinary thing to watch this little creature pump. And its body kept pumping. And what it was doing was redistributing the substance of the mass of its body into the veins of the wings. So its body kept getting smaller and the wings kept getting bigger, like a balloon or something growing, blowing up with the body getting smaller. And it probably took, 5, 6, 7 minutes for the whole process to be through. And I remember thinking, oh my God, I thought it just like, boom, hatched a butterfly. But there was work that it had to do, that this little transformative creature had to sacrifice itself. It had to make the choice to no longer be what it was. And to pump and to pump and to pump and to pump. And distribute all of that stuff into its wings. Matter is neither created nor destroyed. It only changes form. It didn't get more stuff. It just rearranged the stuff that it had. And it's the same way with you in your life. You're not going to get more. The butterfly within you is already within you, just like it's already within the caterpillar. But are we willing to go into our chrysalis? Are we willing to go into our metamorphosis? Are we willing to go into our cocoons? Are we willing to allow this process to take place in a yielded surrender of trust, knowing that there's a you on the other side? That's the real you. Nothing you can orchestrate, nothing that you can make, only there for you to reveal. Breathe that in. Only there for you to reveal. Let's take a breath. As we individually and collectively move into that state of surrender. Naked, use us. Whatever it is that we have been called here to be, I am knowing that in the great moment of this COVID-19 pandemic, this is no joke. This is not a test. That everything that we have ever known, thought, prayed about, affirmed, it's like a final exam. It's time to pull it all together for the transformation of a planet. Never been another moment like this in history, where the entire planet is impacted and working together. Even in the midst of all of the pain and the confusion, and yes, even the death. What an extraordinary transformation is taking place. We're not trying to go back. We're moving forward. Forward to whatever that is that we lacked the capacity to stop long enough to be. To whatever that is that was shouting out for Mother Earth, who's now healing, to slow down and let me be. Those relationships that are getting healed, those dreams that are coming forth, the ways in which we're finding all kind of creative new ways to stay connected. Oh, Mother, Father God, there's a healing coming on. Thank you for showing up as all needs met. Restoration of the body temple, sustenance. Even in the midst of all of the unemployment, I know that you are God, not the government. All needs met. Food on every table, shelter, clothing, all needs met. Support, education, whether it's the elders or the children. We're all in this together. My God is an awesome God. Even in the midst, we give thanks and simply allow it to be. And so it is. Amen.
We are born of the womb, and we return to the womb, and the arms of the world are welcoming you. And the arms of the world are nurturing you. And the arms of the world anew. We in the arms of the world are welcoming you, and the arms of the world are nurturing you, and the arms of the world are cherishing you, and the arms of the world are healing you. Born anew, we are born anew. Born anew, we are born anew. Born anew, we are born anew. And the arms of the world are welcoming you, and the arms of the world are nurturing you, and the arms of the world are cherishing you, and the arms of the world are healing you. Born anew, we are born anew. Born anew, we are born anew. Born anew, we are born anew. We are born of the womb. We return to the womb.
Thank you, Smiles a lot, and Namasia. This is our time of conscious contribution. This is our time of giving. And I also have a few announcements for you. But feel free to reach out to us. And I want to say thank you to everybody who has been going to our website or going online and making donations. It literally is what's keeping Inner Light up, and it's literally what is keeping Inner Light going. So I want to encourage you, you can go to paypal.me/innerlightministries, paypal.me/innerlightministries, or you can text to 831-667-5051. That's text 831-667-5051. 5051. PayPal.me Innerlight Ministries. There's some exciting things that are coming up, and one of them I want to invite you to. It's coming up this Friday. It's called Division or Divinity. Division or Divinity. It is a virtual rally that's put on by the Association of Global New Thought, which is the umbrella organization for the New Thought movement. I'm very pleased to serve on its leadership council, similar to a board of directors. And we're going to be coming together. We usually meet quarterly. We were scheduled to be in Atlanta last week, but we're coming together virtually. We always have a big regional rally, and this time it's going to be online, and we would love for you to participate. Joining me are going to be some of the real near and dear colleagues of mine in the movement, the ones who are head of a lot of the New Thought organizations. I'm going to be joined by colleagues Michael Bernard Beckwith, Howard Caesar, Sheila McKeithen, Mary Morrissey, Roger Teal, Harry Morgan Moses, Dr. Barbara King out of Atlanta. I love me some Dr. King. Edward Villon, Sylvia Sumner, Tim Stewart, Temple Hayes, Kevin Ross of Sacramento. And we are going to be coming together and helping uplift spirits during this time of this pandemic epidemic, and bringing a message of interconnectedness that raises the vibratory frequency for all of us. That's Friday, April the 24th, this coming Friday, 3 o'clock Pacific Daylight Time. You can register via Zoom. You can go to the agent website, or it's agnt.today/events. agnt.today/events, or you can go on Facebook and go to facebook.com/global new thought. But we would love, love, love to see you there. We're going to have a beautiful, beautiful musical lineup. We imagine that we're going to be doing this virtual setup for at least the next 4 Sundays. So we have lined up for you next week on April the 26th is Jennifer Johns. On May the 3rd is Charles Holt. On May the 10th, Mother's Day, will be Karen Drucker. And May 17th, Nadine Risha. They are all favorites of mine, and you don't want to miss any of that. Our food bank is open again on Thursdays at noon, 5630 Soquel Drive. We can always use some more people for volunteers. Contact info at Interlight Ministries if you'd like to do that. 11 a.m. every day, Monday through Saturday, we have a coffee chat, which is hosted by our practitioners and practitioner students. It's about 30 minutes just to check in. That's 11 a.m. Pacific daylight time. You can check that out online as well. Our Wow Woman of Wisdom group meets on Thursdays now at 4:30 p.m. You can contact Kathy at Santa Cruz at SC Smiles at Comcast.net. And remember, we are a praying community. Any prayer requests that you have, for prayer, the number 4 prayer at interlightministries.com, or you can phone us at extension 254. Our telephone number is 831-465-9090, extension 254. PayPal.me/Interlight Ministries. Thank you for the donations. Smiles and Namasia, please give us a closing song.
My really desire to give to you, and when you give to that, it doesn't go to Reverend Deborah's paycheck. It just goes to the congregation. It just goes to the church. She's for years and years, maybe 2 or 3 years, passed on the paycheck and has offered countless hours of volunteer service to the Great Spirit and to the congregation of Inner Light. And Inner Light is a truly important place. And even more special now that all of the energy is focused online to be spread out to all of the world. Your donation is totally valuable, and it is not misused. And they do donate on top, as well as you may donate maybe 10% or 90%, whatever it is. It's all for the donation of love and to become love. And if you'd like to check in on Smiles a Lot and his full record, it is my masterpiece, a complete love story between me and Demacia originally. But let me tell you, this is a love story between spirit. Each song is infused with spiritual values that we know so well from Inner Light Ministries, or that is always the truth. The capital T truth is hidden inside of this beautiful, sweet, juicy love song. It's available on Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you look, almost you'll be able to find that. But I'd appreciate it if you did listen. It does mean something if you put it on a playlist too. Thank you very much. And here we go. We're gonna do a song. It's called "Become Love." We become love. We become love. Become the canvas for God to paint a picture so brilliant and so amazing that neither me or you nor the angels above can see, as we become love. We become love. Oh, I just wanted you to know right now how much that I love you. I'm gonna write it on your soul. 3 times I love you. I'll write it real clear, real big, real bold, so that I know that you can read. I want you to look me deep in the eyes, and I know that you can see. I want to get to know a part of you I never seen. Seemed like the best scene, just like a dream. Hold me tight, hold me close, don't let go. I can see so much with my eyes closed. I appreciate you head to toe. Everything as a heaven so below. We become love. We become love. Become the canvas for Jaja painting a picture so brilliant and so amazing that neither me or you nor the angels above can see, as we become love. Become love. Become love.
Become love, we become love.
Become love.
We become love, we become love, we become love.
Oh, I just wanted you to know right now how much that I love you. I'm gonna write it on your soul. 3 times I love you. On the tip of my tongue, gonna speak from my lips into my fingertip, cause we going deep in the heart cave, stillness, darkness. Behold the light and the brilliance, only to experience, and we could be a witness. Oh, the heavenly high, you and I become love.
We become love,
we become love.
we become love.
Become the canvas for Jaja painting a picture so brilliant and so amazing that neither to me or you nor the angels above can see, as we become love. Become love. Become the canvas for Jah painting a picture so brilliant, so amazing. Neither me or you nor the angels above can see. It said, become the canvas, for God is going to paint a picture so brilliant and so amazing that neither me or you nor the angels above can see, as we become love. We become love.
We become love, we become love, we become love.
We become love.
We become love, we become love, we become love.
We become love.
I want to thank everybody for being with us this Sunday. Show somebody some love. Take this consciousness and multiply it. See you next week, and please join us on Friday with the Association of Global New Thought. See you there.